Adam Lally fed this story to WCVB first. WCVB is the only media outlet that has not ever printed the names Brian Albert or Jen McCabe. They said they won't do it. They are going out of their way to protect him. Adam Lally, and by the way, he wants a gag order on the defense while he's actively feeding stories to WCVB because he knows WCVB is friendly media and they're going to cover for him. There's no mention of any black box there, but he knows because it's a very definitive statement. Evidence establishes that the defendant, while intoxicated in a snowstorm, operated her motor vehicle in reverse for a period of time before striking the victim at a high rate of speed. So WCVB is obviously going to ask, and others are going to ask, what does that mean? How do you know that? And he's going to say, well, we got the black box. So let's read WCVB's reporting. Prosecutors are asking the judge to stop the defense team, blah, blah, blah. And why is this coming out now? You've had this stuff for 16 months and you're releasing it now. Interesting. Reed is accused of hitting O'Keefe, a Boston police officer, blah, blah, blah. Reed's attorneys have accused others of committing the crime and conspiring to cover it up. That's all they have to say. Accused others. They don't talk about like the fucking how long to die. They don't talk about anything. Like, if this is why they hate us, they just want these assholes to be the only ones who report this shit. Because if it weren't for Turtleboy, this is what the reporting would look like. Okay, how about this? So, but perhaps most revealing in the filing is a reference to evidence that establishes that the defendant, while intoxicated in a snowstorm, operated her motor vehicle in reverse for a period of time before striking the victim at a high rate of speed. A spokesperson for the DA's office said information was based on their reading of a newly available report, prepared by the State Police Collision Analysis and Reconstruction section of Karen Reed's vehicle data. And all 𝗟𝗄𝗃 says is that the legal team will oppose the motion and said that they are wrong about the data in Karen Reed's vehicle. So let's talk about that. So here's what a Lexus does, right? 2021 Lexus, a black box, tracks the mileage. They would have the exact mileage of everywhere that she went, like the exact number of miles. And they would be able to kind of subtract and calculate in reverse. Let's just review the midnight ride of Karen Reed here. We know she drops him off somewhere around 12:30 a.m., leaves. We know her exact route home. They can measure that in miles and they can look at the data and see if like they're going to add this all up. So let's suppose it's 3 miles to get from 34 Fairview to One Meadows. And then they're going to know at 5 o'clock in the morning, she went out looking for John and she went down, I forget that road, but that takes you to the waterfall. And then she went up Washington and she went to Kim McCabe's house. And then they went back to her house to meet Carrie Roberts. And then they went to 34 Fairview. So they're going to be able to add those miles up, right? So they can have an exact mileage done. Then we know that after that Karen Reed went back to Meadows, where John's family was, and things got uncomfortable. And so she and her father got in her car, which apparently had the prosecution wants you to believe had a hair on it, human hair, that stayed on the whole fucking time and drove to Dighton. So let's look at how far it is from Canton to Dighton. Now, how many miles is that? That would be 40 minutes it would take without any snow, 31 miles. But if you took this way, that's 44 minutes, but it's 25.5 miles. And what route is this? This would be Route 138. Now, this is a much more direct route, but it's not the highway. Route 24 is a highway. But when would you avoid a highway? Oh, I know, during a blizzard, because it defeats the purpose of going on a highway during a blizzard because you can't go fast. The whole purpose of a highway, guys, I don't know if you're familiar with this, is to go faster than you normally would. So as you can see here, the more direct way to get from Canton to Dighton is Route 138. The faster way under normal conditions by 4 minutes is to take Route 24. And I don't know where they live in Dighton. If they live in North Dighton, then they're going to go through the center of Taunton either way. If not, they're just going to go through Berkeley to get there. But I'm willing to bet if I were driving Karen Reed's car that day, I would take Route 138. Now, I have no proof that she took route. That's going to come out. But just understand this. This is why it's relevant, because there is a 6-mile difference between going on Route 24 and going on Route 138. So if they have the black box data showing that she took this many miles. Like, this is what they've calculated. They have calculated how many miles she drove and said, because they know the exact, it was X amount of miles ago that you went in reverse, X amount of miles ago. And I guarantee you this, and this will come out, but I guarantee you this, that Adam Lally, who is a fucking moron, is operating under the assumption that Karen Read took Route 24 to get from Canton to Dighton.